The other people.
Uh-oh. Is it on live though?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, cheers.
All right, Daf Ayin Daled. Yeah, today's short. We're holding 7 lines from the top. Hosha tehei avodah sekshera. So yesterday we learned from the pasuk v'hoisel hakoyin kamincha, like a mincha. So one of the drushes that the first drush the Gemara brought, Daf Ayin Daled Omid Aleph, 7 lines from the bottom. One of the things that we learned from the top, Ayin Daled, 74. 74a. We learned yesterday. V'hoisel hakoyin kamincha.
2 daf away from Ayin Bays. Beginning of it all.
Thank you. Nachman, it happened all in Menachos Daf Ayin Beis. For those of us who were at the story. The beginning of the Masechta of Shas is Ayin Beis, is what he's saying. Everything from it starts at Ayin Beis. Actually, my Siyum Shas was when I finished Menachos, but okay. I didn't make a Siyum Shas on Ayin Beis. That wouldn't make so much sense. Can we start? Fine. Says the Gemara.
10 minutes.
It says in the pasuk that a kohen can do his own avodah. If he brings a korban, he could perform it himself. Hashatei avodah sheira boy mahachanafka. You're telling me you're learning it from the pasuk v'hoisel hakohen kamincha on Ayin Gimel on the base on the bottom. It says that mahachanafka. Masam nafka. I learned from a completely different place. Minayin lekohen shabo umakrib korbanoisa b'chol ub'chol shah shirtza. So this is a very interesting halacha. The halacha is that a kohen could walk into the Beis Hamikdash. It's not his mishmeres. He's not one of the 24 mishmeres that's on duty doing the karbanas. If he feels like it, b'chol makom b'chol eis, b'chol shah b'chol eis, whenever he feels like it, he can come and bring a karban. They can't tell him, hey, it's not your time. It's our family. It's not your family.
He can bring his own car.
You could bring b'chol eis b'chol shashir. Uba b'chol avas nafshoy v'sheres. If you look at the side and the pasuk, it's interesting because the pasuk is v'chiyavoy halevi machat shorech. So they say obviously a kohen is a Levi, but this is one of the 24 times that the Torah refers to a kohen as a Levi, and it says b'chol avas nafshoy. Whenever he desires, he could come in and bring his own korban. Says the Gemara, if I learn out from that pasuk, we were talking about even a minchas choite on a chet. Maybe that's enough. That's a pasuk referring to a kohen that's bringing an oila, let's say. But a kohen that's bringing a minchas choite, maybe he cannot bring his own. Says the Gemara, I have another pasuk. Look at this pasuk. It says, he's coming to be mechaper on a soul that was shoygeg b'cheto bishgaga. It's literally a double lashon. So the Gemara says what the pshat in the pasuk is, he's coming to be mechaper b'cheto bishgaga on his own soul. That's the pshat in the pasuk. The extra lashon, the double lashon in the pasuk, is referring to himself. Not only is the kohen coming to be mechaper for another soul that was over in Aveira, but even his own soul that was over in Aveira. So Akapana, we have another pasuk. So why are you telling me you learn now from V'hoisel hakoyin kamincha? We have this pasuk that a kohen could perform his own avodah on his own korban. Imahu havamin hanimili b'shoygeg. That's a typical. What's a typical korban? Person does an aveira b'shoygeg, so he brings a chatos. So on such a korban, the pasuk comes to tell me that the kohen can perform it himself. You don't need an outsider. But a minchas choite that comes for a mezid not komash malon, that even on a mezid, a kohen could bring his own korban. What is the case of a mezid? Bezodoin shvua. Now there are. I'm giving you a riddle. So Listen what the halach is. There's four mazins that a kohen brings a carbon. Zodain shvua, Zodain pikadon, a metzoira, and the shivcha charufa. If he's baal shivcha charufa, which is a shivcha that's half and half, he has to bring a carbon. He brings a carbon b'mezid. Even b'mezid, he brings a carbon.
What was the list again?
Shivcha charufa, metzoira, I believe. Also metzoira, if he was nitma. No, if a metzoira, nazir, if he's nitma, and shvus hapegad and shvus eidos. That is, if a person swears he doesn't know any testimony or he doesn't know anything about the money that somebody gave him, and then they found out that he lied. So for that shvua, he brings a carbon, even though he did it on purpose.
Only on those, the only mazes he brings a carbon for?
Those are right, because every carbon in the world, not every, 99% of the carbonis are on shoygig. You mechal Shabbos by mistake. If you mechal Shabbos on purpose, you don't bring a carbon.
On shoygig for Shabbos, he can bring a carbon for himself.
Not from right. But that's shoygig. That's shoygig. We're going. The Gemara says even on a mazid. What are the cases of a mazid? Very few cases. Shivcha charufa.
Which means he did what?
He was boil shivcha charufa.
B'mezid.
B'mezid.
Brings his own carbon.
Brings a carbon. A big chiddush.
Wow.
Brings a carbon. He's a nazir is matam himself. Brings a carbon.
A Kohen is a nazir, the times of B'mezid, brings his own
Brings a carbon. A kohen that lied during his Shavua Shvus Apikadon B'mezid brings a carbon. Yet here's the riddle. The Gemara brings one case. Mishkachasla B'Zodain Shvua. There's three other cases. So why does Gemara bring this case as Zodain Shvua? What's the answer? Oh, this is the only one that's a carbon oil v'yared. This is the only one that if he doesn't have money, he brings a mincha. If, let's say, he's Baal Shivcha Charufa, he doesn't have a way out by bringing a mincha. We're talking about a minchas chayte. The only minchas chayte, b'mezid, is this particular one. Zodin Shvua. Fine. Yeah?
It's a guess, don't worry. I have no idea.
It's true. Very good. It's a very nice guess.
We're not talking about a mincha.
Why not?
We're talking about all the carbonis.
Our sug is minchas chayte.
How do you do video?
Yeah, but the whole
Doesn't do video to another kohen, that's not legal. One of the is that cutters is you embarrassing yourself in terms of the honey.
Are you saying how do you get the embarrassing factor? It goes by the time you come to the shir, by the way.
I should take it first.
Yeah. Okay. Tanya Yidach. Rabbi Shimon. No. Tanya Yidach. Now, we had two shittas so far in the Mishnah. When it comes to minchas chayte, do you do kmitza? Don't you do kmitza? Right. So we had the shita that you do kmitza. Reb Shimon says you do kmitza, even though the entire thing is burnt. It doesn't matter. You do kmitza. The other shita is the Tanna Kama says no. You only perform kmitza when the kohen could eat it. Now we're going to have a third shita. Reb Shimon Oimer. This is repeating minchas chodesh shekohanim nikmetzes v'akoymetz koyer b'fnei atzmoi v'shirayim koyer b'fnei atzmon. By the way, I saw some, I think Rishonim learned that these words v'shirayim koyer b'fnei atzmon actually refers to a different type of hakrava. That the actual mincha goes on the mizbeach. V'shirayim koyer b'fnei atzmon means in another place completely. Maybe you burn it in another place, as we're going to see now. The Medaik in the Lashon. Rebbe Lazar, Rebbe Shimon. Now Rebbe Lazar, his son, Rebbe Shimon's son, has another shita. Hakoymetz korev ba'atzmoi v'ashirayim mispazrim al beis hadeshen. So you don't burn the shirayim, you scatter the shirayim. It goes to waste. It goes in the beis hadeshen. In a second, we're going to see what this beis hadeshen is. As opposed to putting on the mizbeach, burning it. You don't burn it on the mizbeach. You're not makriv it. You spread it on the Beis Hadeshen.
When do you spread? When is the shirayim? At what point?
First you do kmitza. You put the kmitza on the mizbeach.
You shroud the kamitzi, you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. You have a mincha, a bowl. You take one scoopful for kmitza. You put on the mizbeach. The rest of the mincha soilas goes on where? Beis hadeshen. It's like throwing it out. Okay. Now let's see. Beis hadeshen dehecha. Which beis hadeshen? Now, there's what we find here is as follows. There's the Beis Hadeshen on the Mizbeach. That's where you gather all the ashes on top of the Mizbeach with the ramp on top. There's the Beis Hadeshen. In addition to that, there's three. That's called the Tapuach. Very good. In addition to that, there's three Beis Hadeshens. One of them is in the Azara. One of them is on Har Bayis, and one of them is outside of Yerushalayim. When we were learning Zvachim, we dealt with them. The one that's outside of Yerushalayim is where you burn the Chadas HaPnimiyah Yom Kippur. You bring it outside to Yerushalayim. In addition to that, there's a place called Mekoim Hadeshen. Mekoim Hadeshen is this place right over here. It's right next to the Mizbeach on the north corner over here. Southwest. Sorry, southwest. What did I say? If you look at the blue arrow, there's two tiny dots. Wrong place. Pink arrow. Beis Hadeshen. Right over here. You guys remember? It was 3 tefachim away. Yeah, somebody's had to throw it from. He had to throw the feather. He's very strong. He threw the feather. No, from here, all the way over the kevish. Over the kevish. The pink arrow.
What happened if you couldn't do that?
No, that's the whole. He was very strong. Okay, so that's Mekoim Hadeshen. So now comes. So they asked Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan asked, Beis Hadeshen dehecha. Which one is he referring to? That you spread the ash, you spread the mincha on the Beis Hadeshen. If you're talking about on the tapuach, haynu avua. So then there's no difference between Rabbi Lazar and Rabbi Shimon. That's exactly what Rabbi Shimon said. You take the entire thing and you put it on top of the mizbeach. If it's on the bottom one, you're calling it hakrava. I mean, you're separating it. Where do we find that you take something lechatchila and you just throw it out? I mean, if you have a psul and a carbon, so you throw it out. But to take a mincha and throw it out doesn't make any sense. Now, look at this. This is very interesting. I was worried that this might happen. The two Rashis, the top and the bottom, the Mefarish and the Rashi Ksaviyat. So look what the top one says. Elo Beis Hadeshen. I don't know. It's like 15 lines down. You have it? All on top. Elo Beis Hadeshen. The Lamato says the Mefarish Be'mokim Shemachshlich Mura V'Noitza U'Trumas Hadeshen Eitzel HaKevesh. Fine. So he says that's referring to this place right over here, next to the ramp. Now, if you look at our Rashi Ksaviyad, go down. Now it's again 10 lines down. Id Lamato. Yeah? Id Lamato. Not right after Id Lamalo is Id Lamato. Koloimar. Al Shefach Hadeshen Bachutz. Outside of Yerushalayim. Now, look at Tosfos on the top. Ooh. But Tosfos is not Gers. That look at Tosfos. Pirish Bakuntris Al Shefach Hadeshen Bachutz. V'kasha bam question. Imkein hoye nifsal b'yoytzim. How could you take this mincha and bring it outside? It's b'yoytzim. That's why you guys have a girsa that says Ba'azara, which could rectify the whole situation here. So Tosfos says reconciled. Elonir, that's a better word. Elonira Ba'azara b'mokim shesham parim usirim nisrofim. So that's why Tosfos says it's talking about inside the Azara, like your girsa and Rashi. And then Tosfos brings down V'Rabbeinu Tam Mefarish B'Mokim Shemanichim Trumas Hadeshen It's Kevish. It's by the ramp, and on that he says V'Lo Yitachen. He has a very strong question. The Trumas Hadeshen Kodim Tamid Haya. When was there a fire? When was it lit for the Trumas Hadeshen for the Ketores? Is before the Tamid. There's no fire there. So what is he putting the mincha on? How is he burning the mincha? See, Tosfos didn't want to learn. They just putting it in the garbage. You have to do some sort of akrava It's just not on top of the mizbeach; it's on the bottom of the mizbeach. But there was some fire. Where's the fire? It's gone. Fine. So that's milamata. We have different shitas over here. What milamata means? Back to the Gemara. Omar le Rebbe Abba dilma leibud. Maybe it just means that he wasn't marked for it. Maybe it just goes to waste. Achichu alei. Everybody laughed at him. V'chi yesh lecha davar shekarav leibud. You have something that lechatchila you're going to go and a mincha you're going to just throw it to waste and not be makriv it. That doesn't make sense.
Of course, Jews don't waste.
Tony Avud Rebbe Oven. Kol minchas koyin kolil tia loisi ochel. Okay, so for this we need a sheet. I only made 2 extra ones. Maybe pass this all the way down to the back. You guys in the middle. It's very important to see this. In order to understand the sugi, you have to see the psukim beforehand. This is referring to the minchas chavitin of a kohen gadol. A kohen gadol brings a mincha. We learned he takes an isaron, he splits it, divides it in half. He has to bring the isaron together. Remember, at one time from his house, one isaron in the morning. He divides it, a special kli that's a half isaron. The tamid in the morning gets 1 chavitin. The tamid in the afternoon gets another chavitin. That's a mincha of a kohen gadol every single day. Chavit in the morning, chavit in the afternoon. What does it say in the pasuk? Zeh carbon iron v'vanav sheikriu. Fine. It says all the stuff. Machatziso ba'boiger machatziso ba'arev. Pasuk tezvav. V'akoyin haMashiach tachto mibanav yaso oiso chok oilam Hashem kolil toktor. It says that this chavitin is kolil. It's burnt completely. Then this is the pasuk that we're talking about. V'chol minchas koyin. What does v'chol minchas koyin mean? Not this mincha that we're talking about, the minchas chavitim, but every mincha. In other words, even a minchas choyte of a koyin. That's our sugya, the minchas choyte. Kolil tiyeh. You should burn it completely. Lo yachel. Don't eat it. Now, if you burn it completely, then you're not eating it. So again, we have to understand, why does the Torah repeat itself? This is a repetition. Lo yachel. V'chol mincha is referring to minchas choyte. So let's see inside. Tani Abud Rebbe Oven, kol minchas koyin kolil tia loise yochel, la'achila hikashtia v'loy ledavar acher. Like, what would you do with that Rashi? Like, it's like Chinese. A makish what? To who? A makish a minchas choyte to the pasuk before it, the psukim before it, that the chavitin. That what? Only la'achila. V'loy ledavar acher. I'm not saying that you can't eat it. Kolil is telling me, what does kolil mean? When the Torah says by minchas chavitin kolil, it means that I should take it and put it on top of the mizbeach. I'm not being makish minchas choyte to that. That I don't know. You don't put it on top of the mizbeach. Then what do you do with it? You throw it. Throw it away. What am I makish it? Loy la'achila. You're not allowed to eat it. Just like a minchas chavitin. A kohen gadol does not eat it. A kohen doesn't eat it. So too a minchas choyte, a kohen doesn't eat it. What about the second halacha of kolil? You should burn it on the mizbeach? No. That we don't. There's no hekesh for that. Okay? That's what the Gemara just said now.
So he's coming to be matarik, that it could be that you're throwing it out by suggestion, or just even throwing it out.
Exactly. So this seems like Rebbe Lazar, the son of Rebbe Shimon. Again inside. Kol minchas koyin kolil tia lo yseochel. It says 2 things. Kolil lo yseochel la'achilo yikashtio v'loy ledavar acher. Only for one halacha. Do not eat it. But not to say that you should burn it on the mizbeach. And memela, here's a good raya. So now the Gemara says, Maika Amar. In the words Maika Amar, there's a good kasha. In other words, it says mefurish in the pasuk, kolil tia. You should burn it. So Maika Amar, what are you telling me? What you just said doesn't make sense. Amar Abaye Ochik Amar. Kol minchas koyen lo yiseyochel chavasoi. So comes Abaye and says very good, and Rava agrees to Abaye, and Rava says word for word what Abaye says, just he says it in a different way. The pasuk actually is talking about 2 separate things. You have to say the pasuk is talking about 2 separate karbanos, because at first it says kolotia, and then it says lo yiseyachel. It's saying the same thing for 2 different reasons. Number 1 says Abaye Called minchas kohen loiseachal chayva. So we're talking about a korban that's a chayva for a kohen, and then there's an adava. The first part, the second part, the pink part, loiseachal. Abai starts off with the last part of the pasuk, and that's what a Rava doesn't understand. Why is Abai starting from the end of the pasuk? The end of the pasuk, loiseachal, don't eat, is talking about a chayva. Okay? A minchas chayva. So it goes where? It goes to waste. Lo Yisayachal says a minchas chayva goes to waste. And is a minchas chayta a minchas chayva? Yes. He sinned, he must bring a minchas chayte. So that would be included in the last words of the pasuk Lo Yisayachal. It goes to waste. Like Rebbe Lazar, Rebbe Shimon. And the first part of the pasuk, what goes on the mizbeach? Only his nadava. So if he brings a minchas soilas, he wants to bring a minchas and nadava, that goes on top of the mizbeach. Why? Kolil tia. Kolil tia means I burn it on the mizbeach. Understood?
So why does that all off at Rav Avim? Sorry, on Abba. It's a dimel ibud. Saying that, it goes to ibud.
Okay.
You put it on the best that you
Right. Very good.
Maybe it's for
That's the Gemara's kasha. But before we get to that kasha, Omalei Rava, Sakino Charifo Mafsika Kroi. There's a sharp knife dividing the pasuk. Why did you start from the pink? You should have started from the blue. The first words are Kolol Tia. So when Abaye explaining it, don't change anything. Just say Kolol Tia is talking about an adava. Lo Yisayach is talking about a chayva. Ela Amarava, and I mamish didn't understand what's going on here. I looked until I found on the side of the Gemara, my Gemara, there's an answer. Like, what's the big question? And what's Ela Amarava? Oh, unbelievable teretz. Kol minchas koyin kol tia. Yeah, you're right. Kol tia is talking about an adav, exactly what Abaye said. I'm not changing anything. I'm just saying I'm starting from here. And then what's El Amar Abaye? And what's the kasha? What's the teretz? What's going on here? What's bothering him so much? So the Shita Mekubetza says, and that's why I printed it, that Abaye was saying that Lo Yisayachal goes right after these psukim because these are talking about a chayva. So he wanted to fit it in and he had a doichak, says the Shita. How did he jump from these psukim and this is in between? It's hurting us. So mainly he jumped to Lo Yisayachal, and that's what bothered Rava. Why are you doichaking it and saying that it has to go? And he comes up with the pshat that you don't need to be doichak like that. But Akapanim, there was something deeper behind this.
Yes, but then what would be the answer? So what do Rava do?
So look in the Ayin B'Shita Mekubetzes. You want to see it inside? You want to go? Okay, fine. We're not. I didn't think so.
We believe you.
Where does it start?
He's in a rush.
Amalei Rav Sakina Charifa. Oh, so obviously I looked it up to see how many times it says Sakina Charifa in Shas. So I came up only twice, and then I looked in the side over here. It says there's an Erechin also. And then I realized I did Amar Rava, and the other one is Amar Abaya. So Abaya has one and Rava has two. Fine. No, because I remember we just had it in Bo Basra. Ve'ebuchana.
That's one the difference also is Kolil and Lo Yisayachal is also whether there's Kmitz on.
According to, well, that depends. Yeah. It's hachbach l'chayra. When you do kmitza, so then it's food, and then the rest.
Then it's Lo Yisayachal.
Yeah.
Kolil, there's no Kmitz at all.
Says Gemara Ve'ebachano. So this is what no one was asking. Mehechatesa, that the first words in the pasuk are talking about an adava, and the second words are talking about a chayva. In other words, why do I say chayva just goes to waste? Maybe an adava should go to waste, and a chayva should go on the mizbeach. Who told you? Where does it say in the pasuk anything about chayva and adava? Mistabra nidvasa havalei rebuye. It makes sense to compare an adava to chavitin, the psukim beforehand. Shekain to dira. Because an adava is more common. You could be noider every day. Loichate, he didn't sin. Just like a chavitin, he didn't sin. Basim reiche, says Rashi, the smell is really good because you put oil and you put levain in it, so it's a good smell. Mashengim mechas chayta, there's no oil, there's no levain. Adarabba, Chavasa Havali Lirabui. The Minchas Choiva, the Choita is more similar to Chavitin. Why? Shekeni Saran. Just like a Chavitin, we said the Kohen Gadol starts off the day with the Nisaran. The Minchas Choita is also Nisaran, very similar. And the Dava, we said, could be up to 60. We had even a Kli of 60 Yisraelim. Remember, we're doing the Mincha, we said, how do you mix with one lug of Shem and 60? The answer is, you put a lot of water. Zog the Gemara, Hanach Nefishin. At the end of the day, it's 3 against 2, so therefore we compare the Nadava to the Chavitin and not the Choita. Akoponim we have here that the Minchas Choita goes li'ibud, you just spread it out. V'Rabbanan that don't say, they say that a Minchas Choita there's no kmitza, so there's no ibud. So hi kol Minchas Kohen kol tia lo yisei ochel. What do they do with this pasuk? Look at this hanya. We only understand that Chavitin, the first psukim, have a kol tokter. That you burn him completely. V'tachtoina, what's v'tachtoina? V'chol minchas. The rest of the menachos of the kohen. Below yisei. And they're over on a isser of not eating. How do you know the Chavitin is an isser, there's a lav of lois yachal? By the way, that's only according to Rabbana, but according to Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon, who learns from this pasuk other things, there is no lav. What?
How do you know you put lois yachal the Chavitin and
how do you know whatever applies to the first pasuk applies to pasuk Yud Gimel applies to pasuk Zayin, whatever applies to pasuk Zayin applies to pasuk Yud Gimel. The mitzvah, the aveira of lois yachal applies to Chavitin and the kolol tokter to also chayta or whatever the other mitzvah. Minayin litin es homish zebezeh, ves homish zebezeh. Tamad loimer kolil kolil xerishov. Never can kolil, v'never la'alam kolil. As you see in this thing, it says kolil in this pasuk over here, and it says kolil over here. Ma la'alam kolil tokter, av kam kolil tokter. Ma kan litin loisase al achilosoi, av la'alam litin loisase al achilosoi. Fine. Boy Ravina. Koyin she'ochal min heimurim mau. What happens if a koyin takes imurim that go on the mizbeach and he's decided to eat it? Says Rashi, the last line on the bottom, what's imurim? Chloyos v'yiseres hakaved. What's missing from the kidneys and the liver? Liver is pretty good. The chaylev. Rashi doesn't bring chaylev, says the Rashba, because chaylev is kares. And we're not discussing that right now. Maybe you can add another issa to it. It says in the Torah a lav of zaros. Now, exactly what this lav is a machlokes Rashi and Tosfos. Rashi brings a pasuk that's brought down b'chozor le'yochal kodesh. It's brought down. It's a pasuk by Truma. And l'chayra says Tosfos he has exer shava. Tosfos doesn't understand. There's a pasuk by Emurim also, v'zor lo yochal ki kodesh heim, but he says that maybe it's.
What does that do with the Kohen eating?
Oh, because once you can't eat it, then the Kohen becomes a zar. Anybody who can't eat it becomes a zar. Yeah, but Negat Emurim is a zar. Zar doesn't necessarily mean a Yisrael. Zar means anybody that's not in the parish of eating.
What is supposed to say on that?
Kika me by what? Kids here, there's a whole long Taisus here. Interesting. Yeah, I got to point that out. I just threw out as a joke. It's a lav shebeklalos that there's a lot of lavim, and somebody made fun of me, and then I see Taisus says I have to look at it. The last words says it's lav shebeklalos. Okay. Remember, lav shebeklalos, too many lavim. So he said, what are you talking about? You could get 5 lavim on it if you eat an ant. So this has nothing to do with lavim. He's going to explain to me why. Today he'll have to explain to me why.
After somebody did it.
I hear it's kasha. You could be over many lavim on one achila like an ant.
Specified. That's if they were specified in the Torah in a different line.
And over here also. Okay, whatever. Kikum What's the Gemara's question? If a kohen eats a murim, Lav the kolul tiyamai. This lav that we just were talking about, what is this lav talking about? It's talking about a mincha. Minchas chavitin. And other menachos of a kohen, it says kolul tiyah. Does that lav apply also to a murim which are not a mincha? It's meat. It's, I don't know what it is. But it's not a mincha. Omer avaroin. Don't worry, I looked this up also. It's only twice in Shas. Liravina toshma. I have a raya, the Sanya, Rebbe Lezer Omer, Kolshu bekolul tiyah, litin lisas alachilasoy. That anything is included, even in murim, you're over on a loisas, on eating them. Fine. Zok the Mishnah. Minchas kohanim u minchas kohen Mashiach. A mincha that a kohen brings, and a mincha that the kohen gadol brings every day. The minchas chavitim. Uminchas nisachim lemizbeach, and the mincha that accompanies the korbanos, the oila, the shlomim, ve'ein bohem la kohanim. The kohanim don't get a thing, zero. Ubezei yofa koyach mizbeach mikoyach kohanim. This is where the mizbeach is stronger than a kohanim. In other words, if the kohanim would get 10% of it, then the Mishnah wouldn't say that the mizbeach is stronger because it's 90 and 10. Since the kohen doesn't get a thing, it has to be a shutout. And in Mela, that's the only thing. Shtei alechem, velechem aponim ne'echalim kohanim. The two breads and the lechem aponim are eaten by the kohanim. Ve'ein bohem lemizbeach. And the mizbeach doesn't get a thing from the lechem. V'zeh yofa koyach ha-kohanim, me'koyach ha-mizbeach. And in this, the kohanim are stronger. As Tais says, but the lechem aponim, the mizbeach does get the levayna. And shtei alechem, the mizbeach does get the two kvasim. So it's Tais okay, but in the lechem itself, not from the lechem itself. No, but the mizbeach doesn't get it. Oh, the kohanim get it. You're saying the kohanim get the whole thing? Maybe part of it. No. What about the? Yeah, no, but it's not fine. But that was. Let's see the Gemara. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a mincha. V'su leka va'ika oila. We're talking about the first part of the Mishnah. You're saying that the only thing that the mizbeach gets are these menachos, the minchas kohen gadol, and you have an oila, the whole thing goes on the mizbeach. Ika oila lekohanim, but the hide goes to the kohen. V'ika oila sa'if, the whole thing goes on the mizbeach. Ika mura v'noitza. You have the feather and the mura. You take out that little piece and you put it on the deshen. Very good. That's right. That's the throwing across. Memele doesn't get everything. Over here you see mefurish. Even though the kohen doesn't get it, but the mizbeach doesn't get it. And exactly, that's be 100% of the mizbeach. Voikin is sachim, but over there, by the way, by the your taida, the kohen doesn't get it. That's the Yisrael, so it could be that something else. We're talking about where the kohen is stronger than the mizbeach. Voikin sachim, the sachim are poured on the mizbeach. Says the Gemara, l'shita nazli. So for that also, if you could see, I don't know if you could see well, but this is the blue sticker. There's two tiny black dots in this picture. Chaim could barely see it, so then you guys for sure can see it. It's a little drainage system over there, and you pour the wine into that like a kli, a shisen. You pour it in, and it goes underneath the mizbeach. It disappears. The mizbeach does not get it. Now, what about Tosis asks here? What about levayna? Levayna goes in the mizbeach. What about wood? Wood goes on the mizbeach.
It's not. Kohanim don't feel that they want to eat the wood.
Oh, very good. Says Tosfos that we're talking about things that are edible. We're not just talking about things that go on the mizbeach. We're talking about edible things that go on the mizbeach. So that wouldn't be counted as one of the things. Levayna is not something you eat. You don't chunk down levayna. It makes a good smell, but you don't eat it. I don't think you eat cinnamon. Maybe you could put it on food, even if it's part of food. I don't know if you put levayna on food, but even if it is, I don't think it is.
About the shnei lechem, you asked about the bezifei levana. You didn't say it's not edible. You said that's not part of the lefmatzma.
No. We're right. You're saying why?
Before in the Mishnah,
That should have been a teretz. You mean?
yeah. What do you mean? That's not oicham. What's the levana?
Levayna is a spice.
Say it.
Oh, frankincense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's schwach.
Frankincense.
Frankincense. I said it, Kima. I just swallowed the last part. Umay bezu. So now, the Mishnah says, in these things, this is what the mizbech is stronger than a kohen. The question is really, the Torah tells us that these are the things. The Mishnah didn't add anything to what the Torah already we knew from the Torah. There's no chiddush in the Mishnah. Says the Gemara, there is a chiddush la'afukim in the Shmuel. The Omar Shmuel hamisnat of yayim mevio yumizalfe agabe ishim. If he holds that you take the wine and you pour it literally on the fire. So Kamash Malon, the Lashitin Azli were mechulik on Shmuel, and they don't go on the fire. It's only the three things that the Mishnah brings down, and not wine. However, Misayele Shmuel, our Mishnah on the one hand says that you don't put wine on the fire, but it does say another halacha like Shmuel. So on one hand we have a steer to Shmuel, on the other hand there's a siyur to Shmuel. That what? From the fact that the Mishnah didn't mention shemen, the Omar Shmuel hamisnadev shemen koimtzoi ushiyorev nechalim. If you donate oil by itself, you do kmitza. Very weird, right? Yeah. How do you do kmitza to oil? But you could do kmitza to oil, and we're going to see in a second. V'shiyorev nechalim. So, and that's why it's not in the Mishnah, because you actually divide it. The kohen gets part and the mizbeach gets part. Now, look at Rashi in the Ksav Yad, the bottom Rashi. Ushiyorev nechalim, says Rashi. Lehavakul mizbeach. Listen to this. V'shani leili Shmuel ben shemen de motzi kametzle leben yayin de le motzi kametzle. Says Rashi that the reason why Shmuel makes enough communion between oil and wine is because oil you can do kmitza. Memela, part of it goes in the mizbech and part of it goes to the kohen. Wine you can't. So Rashi understands that oil is much thicker. You're talking about a really thick oil that's physically possible to do kmitza to, whereas wine is never possible. It's way too liquidy.
Solidified. Also, did you bring oil and do a kmitza? Let's see.
Which toisvis? Yeah, in sol v'yevshel komsa. Yeah. We're talking about a very thick. What? What did you say?
Did you bring oil and do a kmitza? Let's see.
Yeah. Certain things we don't.
It's funny because usually the wine was very thick. They used to do maziga on it.
They used to do, what do you call it? They used to add water, but that's because Miziga was. If you ask Rabbi Schoenberg, he'll explain to you. The reason why they did Miziga, one of the reasons, Noam, is not because it was thick. It's not because it's thick, and not because it was strong. It was because they didn't have what to drink. Their water was contaminated, so they would add water to the wine would get rid of the contamination. It was almost that. It was to make water. It wasn't to make wine. But okay, fine. But yeah, you're right. It is because it was very. Now we're going to the second part of the Mishnah that shtei lechem and lechem aponim go to the kohen, not the mizbeach. V'suleke v'oike chatas ha'oif. Chatas ha'oif goes completely to the kohen. Ikedama, but we do spray some of the blood on the mizbeach, so the mizbeach gets some of it. V'oike loik shemen sham mitzayra. The lug shemen goes completely to the kohen. Says the Gemara, Ike matanoisav. We know that you take some of the oil and you put it on his ear, you put it on his toe. So memela, some of it goes. Now, what's very interesting is that Rashi says when it comes to Ho'ika loik shemen sham mitzayra, Rashi says matanos ala paroiches. Rashi says mefurish, you take some of this oil, you pour it on the paroiches. Tosfos says no. It can't be. You don't go in there. So Tosfos says you do it against the paroiches, towards the paroiches. Fine. Umay bezoi, again, the same question. What's the Mishnah Mechadish when the Torah tells me these things that the kohen gets it? We had a whole sugi about this. What happens when they can't find sheep on Shavuos and all you're left with is the bread? Do you bring the bread by itself? Not. So one man holds, you burn the bread. That no matter what, the kohen gets the bread. You don't burn the bread, even if you don't have the two kvasim. Says the Mishnah. Any mincha that's done in a kli, what kind of mincha would that be? Right, machvas marchas. To unois shloisha matonish shemen. So as we go back to the old chart, there's a newer one, but that was for the Omer. This is the old one. I found it. Step number one always is you put the shemen in the kli. Shemen bakli, that's what it's called. Shemen bakli. On top of that, you put the soilus. We're not talking about that. And then once you put the soilus in, shemen ala soilus, and then you do belila. That's called belila. So step number 2 is belila. What's number 3? 4? Yitzika. What does yitzika mean? Once it's already made and done, you do it you put another shayla. Now look at the Mishnah. Very interesting. Yitzika number 4, ubelila number 3, u'matan shem bakli. So obviously the Mishnah is out of order because matan shem bakli comes first. Right. Okay. Now, the question is, where do you do this yitzika? This yitzika, at what point? So the Mishnah brings in kloikes. Chalois boilelon divrei Rebbe. Rebbe holds you. Not say you're doing whatever you're doing in marchesh chavit, you break it. Then you break it down. We had this before. You break it down into posi into little. You crumble it into. It comes back down to its original state of flour, and then you introduce the yitzika. That's Rebbe. That's yitzika would be to the flour. V'chachamim oimrim soiles. What? The chalas, which are crumbs. And Chacham say no. It happens a step before the afiyah. Before you bake it, then you're putting on soiles. Now the Mishnah says something completely different. Hachalos. We're shifting gears. We're going to a different challah. We're talking about the challah of mafet tanur. That the Torah says when you put it in the oven, there's 2 types. It's either chalois or rekikin. So hachalois tunois belila, rekikin meshicha. And the rekikin require that you put oil on it. What happens if you flip the order around? You do meshicha to challah, and you boil a rokik. Let's say you do meshicha to challah. What's the halacha, Rabbi Yisai? So the Re'im says it's mamish posel. The Re'im is a Rishon, right? He's a Talmud of Bali Tosfos. Look at Daf Yud Ches for a second. It's kedai to look. Oh, whoever doesn't have it, fine. You all don't have it. Look at this Mishnah, Daf Yud Ches. Lo yotzak, lo bolal, lo passes. Now it makes more sense to us, this Mishnah. If you didn't do any one of these things, v'lo malach, v'lo heine, v'lo yigish, lo yishazim. What's that law if you didn't do one of these things? Sheira. If you didn't do one of these things, you didn't do blila, it's kosher. So how could the Re'im say that it's possible? What do you mean? It is Roy Labila. It is. Not only it is, he did it.
No, it's like if he, but he did it wrong.
Oh, you're saying he did it wrong. Wow. But there's a bigger question. There's a bigger question because according to the Menachos Chinuch, at least, I'm just throwing in stuff because we have 2 minutes. According to the Menachos Chinuch, there's no difference between chalas and rekikin, he says. They're the same size, they're the same everything. The only difference is the oil. So memela, if you boil a challah, then you turned it into rakik. And if you moishach a rakik, so you turn it into I'm sorry, if you moishach a challah, you turn it into a rakik. And if you boil a rakik, you turn it into. According to him, there's no difference. There are others that say there is a difference. The Ben Izra says that no, the challah is much thicker and the rakik is not thinner. Fine. So now we have that. I was yoytz in my weekly chabur. Like a kaf. Now, look real quickly. Tosfos, we don't have that much time, but Tosfos on Ayin Hey Amud Aleph, towards the bottom, Kimin Ki. I don't know what the Tosfos is doing over there. I guess it's in the Gemara. The Gemara on Ayin Hey brings also Kimin Ki, so Tosfos is there. It happens to be he brings Sir Bakundris Kimin Tes. So basically, you take your fingers like this. It's like a chaf. So that's one pshat. Another pshat is you go like this. That's a tes. Or like this.
That you take your fingers like that, or you?
No. I'm saying like. Where do they get the key? Key could be like this. Key could be like this. So there's a bunch of pirushim here. And in Rashi he says on Chumash Gimel. V'yesh mefarshim kimin nun or kimin chaf. Ubarak pirish. Now look at if you have a Likutei Rashi on the side of the Gemara, he brings an X. A picture of an X. You have it? You guys don't have it in the Masifta? Oh, he does. Kazeh and an X. The Kitzer. Good luck. Kimin ki, kimin X, kimin nun, kimin gimel. What? Yeah, exactly. Stick to the chalas. Very good. Zok the Gemara lemutei mai, omer apapa, Limuute, this thing that says that you put 3 oils, what does it come to exclude? Limuute minchas mafed doesn't have the third one, the yitzika. Tarabanan. V'im, should we stop here? Yeah, you want to stop here? Fine, we'll stop here. Have a great day.
The Greek chi.
Really? Oh, Chaval, I didn't know that.